we're going to learn how to do single crochets. So I've already started here. I made my slip knot, and I've made only about 10 chains here just for the sake of practicing. If you want to make 10 chains, you could make less or more, or however you'd like to. I think this is about a good size just to get your row going so you can see and make sure that you're doing it right. A single crochet is about 1 stitch high, and so when you start your single crochets, you're going to want to skip this first stitch from the hook and single crochet into the next one. That will make your row 1 stitch high. So I'm going to insert my hook right in the middle of the chain, leaving just 1 loop on top of my hook here. And then I'll yarn over, and I'm going to draw through that first loop, leaving 2 loops on my hook, and then I'll yarn over again, and I'll draw through both loops. That's a single crochet. And I'm just going to continue doing that across the row. Insert my hook, yarn over, and I'll draw it through 1 loop, and I'll yarn over and draw through 2 loops. I'm just going in the center of my chain, yarning over, drop 1 loop, yarn over and drop 2 loops. Now I'm just going to keep doing this to the end of my row. This is my last chain. Just do the same thing, and then I draw through 2 loops. So now I'm out of chains, there's nothing left to crochet into, so I know my row is done. And again, like I said, a single crochet is about 1 stitch high, and so again what we did in the beginning was skip that first chain, so here I need to make a chain so that I have one to skip. So I'm going to chain 1, which creates the height for my next row, and then I'll just turn my work over so that I'm still working from the right to the left. So now I have this extra chain here, so that when I start my next single crochet row, I'm going to skip my chain and I'm going to crochet straight into the first single crochet of the row below. When you're working with single crochets, well, when you're working with any kind of crochet loop, after your chains, your pattern will let you know if you need to work in the front loops or the back loops. If it doesn't specify, then you're probably just going to be working with both loops. Sometimes you'll work in the front loops or the back loops for decorative purposes. Sometimes you'll use it so that you can leave a loop to work into on another row, or to add something. But your pattern will tell you that if you're working with a pattern. Otherwise, you're just going to want to work under both loops, and that will create a flat surface. So I'm going to skip this chain right here, and I'm going to single crochet into this first single crochet right here. And I'm just going to insert my hook under both loops, and I'm going to use that loop as though it were 1. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to draw under both of those loops as though they're just 1 loop, just like I did with the chains. So now I'm left with 2 loops on my hook, and then yarn over and draw under 2 loops. So again, I'm going under both loops and yarn over and just draw up one loop, yarn over, and draw up under those 2 loops. So I'm almost to the end of my row. You can see I have this set of 2 loops here. That's my last single crochet here. So that's my last single crochet. And then again, I just do the same thing at the end here. You're just going to want to chain 1 to create that height for your next row. And then you'll turn your work over and you'll just start again. You're going to skip this first chain and you're going to single crochet into the first single crochet from the row below. And I'm just going into those 2 loops and yarn over, draw up 1 loop, and yarn over, and draw up 2 loops. And then you can see just an idea of the single crochets here. This creates a pretty sturdy piece because the stitches are fairly short and so they hold together really well. They're pretty thick. Sometimes with double crochets or treble crochets are a little bit taller and they create some space in between. So if you need a sturdy stitch, a single crochet is a pretty good bet for that. And that's it.